Okay, how do we approach the reading? We first read the notice or the announcement and or the academic text, and then we go into the question. Or we can go into the question first and then go to the question. This would be okay since we have some keywords in our mind and then we can go into the question, right? For example, if I choose business, for example, if I read business and I see customers and billing, we just skim through it very quickly and then we go in, right? Now, if we do start to read, municipal charter, municipal means like the local town or the city area. Safe, convenient, easy. This is a plus, right? Enroll in paperless billing. Billing over here, we have like asking for some money and we have some documents indicating what you spent. To receive monthly savings account statements in an electronic PDF document. So this paper now is available on an electronic file. Access your municipal charter account through the mobile app and select account preferences in the upper right-hand corner to enroll. So this announcement is like, oh, paper to electronic. We just have this in mind. As I told you, you'll have scratch paper for the reading and listening and speaking and writing. So you have to just write this down. What type of business issued the notice? What type of business? We have to choose. We see billing. Billing is about financial resources. So we should know, oh, we are looking for a company that involves finance, uh, something related to money. And out of this, it is the bank, right? You might think it might be a paper company, but usually if it is a paper company, you should be talking about the quantity or the quality of the paper, how much you can negotiate. But in this case, since it's talking about billing and financial statements, account statements, this account in this case is talking about your bank account. So D would be the answer. Good. Now, next question. What does the woman imply that she was about to do? Imply that she was about to do. If you remember the listening, right? Well, this is the script. We have the script over here. But on your scratch paper, you must have the writings like play from over here. And oh, we have the expression over here. This expression, before you listen to this, when you skim the questions first, you have the woman imply something. Oh, she's going to say something. And the man says this expression. Then your ear and your brain should be focusing on what? This expression. When is it going to be? Where is it going to be in the script? Right? Now, as you listen to the script, we first hear there's something like a play, and the woman says, "Oh, that's tomorrow." And then the man is like, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." And then the woman is like, "So you don't have plans for dinner?" So the man and the woman were going to have dinner together, but they find out the man was confused about the timing, right? So the woman does mention the word dinner, meaning she was going to have dinner, right? And this is also, well, kind of, I would say, not too easy, but not that difficult, I would say, because the dinner, the word itself is repeated. And if you hear that word, then you can pick the answer. Now, the next question is write an email. Now, unlike reading and listening are all based on the text. You know, as I give you information about SAT and TOEFL, SAT has reading and writing and math too. TOEFL has reading and listening too. These are all receptive. So you get the knowledge from something, right? Like a text or a script that you listen to. So you first get the input and then you produce the output by choosing the right answer. However, speaking and writing are quite different. You do have some kind of input, but it's quite weaker, and the context you have to produce, well, it's much stronger, right? You can say it's productive. I don't want to say reading and listen are passive, because you do need to concentrate on something, but at least I can say speaking and writing are more productive or more active in a way, right? But do not worry, because I will give you the sample answer. We have 3 tasks in TOEFL writing. The first is you have to match the sentences, then the phrases. The second is writing an email, and the third is academic discussion. Right now we're focusing on writing an email, and you have 7 minutes. So normally you read it and you write an outline for 1 minute. You write the email for 5 minutes, and for 1 minute you review it and try to check for typos. So 1 minute for outline, 1 minute for review, and 5 minutes to write. So if we read it, then this is how it goes. A new poetry magazine has asked its readers for submissions, and you decided to submit 2 of your poems. However, you had a problem using the online submission form, and you are not certain that your submissions were received. Okay, write an email to the editor of the magazine. In your email, do the following. This is very important. These 3 bullets, it means you have to write all 3 in one email. If you miss a part or a sentence, you will lose a point. Okay? Tell the editor what you like about the new magazine. So you have to write down something that you like about and describe the problem. So this is a plus, positive something, and you have a negative something, and ask. You have to have a question, status of your submissions. Write as much as you can and in complete sentences. But do not be fooled. You should not write like 14 or like 3 pages. You just have 1 page to fill in, and that would be good. Now, let's see which template we can use. I'm going to give you this template to write the email, okay? We first have like 6 parts, including your name over here. And it goes like this. You have the name, the greetings, purpose, response, closing remarks, and then sign off, right? Dear someone, this is how you write a real email. I will show you soon the sample answer and a real life email I exchanged when I was working. Okay, back to the template. I'm going to give you this, okay, as a file. You first start with the name. Think of it as writing an email to having a conversation with someone. You first say, hello. This is like, hello. I hope you're doing well. How are you? How's it going? If you're close, you can say, what's up? And then you say something. Why am I here? Why am I here? I want to request something, ask something, confirm something in case of this. In case this email is going to be about the submission, right? I want to check something. In this case, will be confirm. And then you request to check if you can check something. Then after that, you say, I look forward to your response. Thank you for your help and time. And then you have the sign off. Best regards, sincerely, best over here, right? Okay. And this is going to be the example answer. It asked 3 things. Do you remember? Well, let's go back. You have to tell the editor what you like about that magazine and describe the problem and ask about the status of your submissions. What you like, problem, and status. What you like, problem, and ask for, what was it again? Problem, experience, and ask about the status. Ask the status. 3, okay? You start with the name. Dear editor. Okay, you can take this out if you need to. Greetings, I hope you are doing well. That's good, right? Until this, you're going to be fine. I hope you are doing well. Purpose, I am writing because I had a problem submitting 2 of my poems on your website. So you have the purpose right here. This is the problem, right? You have the problem. Yesterday, I filled out your online submission form. However, this is the sample answer by GPT. I'm going to tell you, this was generated by GPT. But the reason I did not change anything is because of several things. If you have this word from the text and this word, this is also in the question too, right? If it's difficult to think of another word, it's okay. But if you can, you can change the word, like I had an issue. Then the assessment guy will know, oh, this person knows how to change the word problem to issue. He has that vocabulary. However, can change to nevertheless. Nevertheless. When I clicked submit, the website suddenly crashed. I did not get a confirmation message. Because of this, I do not know if you received my work. Could you please check? Can you please check? This would be critical, right? And then you have to know. Oh, can you check or not? Now, if you see this, okay, you have to know several things. It is critical to answer the question. Do not talk about something else. Problem. Got it? And I did not get a confirmation message. Can you please check? In this case, we did this and this. But we can say in the simple version, we do not have that I liked your message, right? So that would be a slight issue. How can we add that? Let's go back. What was the keyword? Okay. What you like about the new magazine? I like the design of the new magazine. Well, we have other expressions like the design of the new magazine is great or lovely. We can add that, change that like this. But in this case, I want to keep it simple. I like the design of the new magazine. Now you do this. Start like this. I am writing because I had a problem. And then I did not get a message. Can you please check? Thank you for your time and help. And then you put in best regards and then your name like this. Good? This will be okay, speaking. Now we do have a sample text over here. In this case, you have to see. Now, this is quite important. Some questions, most of the questions actually, they give you like a subject and then you expand, right? So when they ask you a question, you have to stick to that question because your question that was answered over here, like background information, you call that TMI, right? That TMI could be the answer for question 2 or 3. So if they ask you a question, you have to stick to that question, or else you might have to spend some time thinking about what am I going to answer for question 2 or 3 or 4 because I used that information for question 1. Good? Now in this case, this is the structure. We got to remember, simple is best. And then we have something called magic sentences. I'll give this to you soon. And then we use the key phrase. And then the timeline is going to go like this. We have 45 seconds to speak. We use that magic sentence over here to buy some time. And then we talk about the main point. So my opinion, for example, is the key point. And then we give the first reason, the second reason, and then the conclusion, like thus, in conclusion, therefore, and then we finalize this. So you have like 2 or 3 seconds left. That's okay. So that's the best answer. But if you need to speak like a sentence or more, if you have more than 5 seconds left, maybe 3 or 5, you have to add a sentence. But if you have like a structure like this, that's fine, okay? The reason I say this is because it could make you nervous, but it's okay. Think about this. If I ask you to draw a face, what would you do? You would not do this. Like you try to, I don't know, decorate, paint, draw your eye like this. Or would you just do this? This looks like a face, right? No one would draw like this, draw their eye like this, and have no eye or nose or mouth, right? You would at least draw the basics of a face. It's the same in TOEFL writing or speaking. The flow, the overall structure should be fixed, and then you add some detail and flesh and bone to it. You do not stop your answer after for 45 seconds while just explaining main 1 when you have main 2, right? Or you do not just explain your main point over and over again without giving the details or finalizing your answer or response. You have to have a basic understanding that some students are asking me often, oh, I need more time. You don't need more time. You need to structure. You need to have your text and response properly structured. So within that 45 seconds, you have that time to respond properly. Like a face. Good. Now, suppose the question is like this. Let's go for number 2. Do you think the city is dynamic and exciting or overwhelming and draining energy? Now, in this case, I wrote down the sample answer is that the city it's a great place, okay? Now, the magic sentence is this. This will buy you time. That's an interesting question. Or, let me think about this for a second. And then you really think about a second. But in that 2 or 3 seconds, your brain can immediately, well, we're going to practice this. We can immediately visualize some kind of image or example, and we'll give you the keywords, right? Now, this is the main point. I currently live in a big city and I really enjoy it. This means it's much better to live in a city than a countryside. It implies that, right? The main reason, this is main point 1, is that big cities offer so many convenient things. And then you use examples. For example, there are many public transportation options like buses and subways, so I do not need a car to travel around. So this part is main idea 1. This is important. If you are talking and you have like less than 25 seconds, even though you are not finished, you should just finish that sentence naturally and go on to the other point. Like this. The main reason is that big cities offer so many convenient things. For example, there are many public transportation options like buses and subways. But if you are like 21 seconds and 20 seconds left, this means you have to go on. So even though you want to say the sentence, you do not say the sentence, then you go on to also. You get this? So this will finish like this. There are many public transportation options like buses and subways. You check the time. The time is going to be in front of you. And if it's like 20 seconds, you should think, okay, I got to go to the next point. And then also, there are many restaurants, shopping malls, and theaters close to my apartment, so I'm never bored. It's the same. If you only have like 10 seconds left, then you do not say the sentence. In contrast, living in a small town or village will be too quiet and lonely for me. This richens the second point, but if you don't have time, you just say also until this sentence, and then you go to therefore. It's much more important to finish your idea and explanation. Therefore, I prefer living in a big city because it matches our active lifestyle. You get this? So, as you check your time, if you do not have enough time, what you should do is you should actually try to finish the sentence by managing your time. So let's see, what would be optional? This would be optional. This whole sentence could be optional if you do not have time. So in the beginning, you start your speech without these 2 phrases and sentences. And then once you get the hang of it and you know to manage your time, then you can add sentences and phrases to have a better response. These words can change and you can have longer sentences and different types of sentences, but the most important thing is in the beginning, simple is best. Once you get this, and then you'll be able to speak and have better responses, okay? Now I will give you the sample answer. We have it on page 4, right? Let's begin to practice, and then you're gonna talk with me, and you're gonna speak with me individually after we practice for like 7 minutes, okay? Let's begin.